started gobbling at 6:52 this morning, which is a little bit later than the last couple days. Probably heard 4 or 5 so far, but each turkey's maybe gobbled a half a dozen times, wouldn't you think? They're not as frisky this morning as they were yesterday, doesn't seem like. A little bit more humid and cloudy today, but they're still gobbling.
What do you think, Greg?
That'll work. Wilbur.
Feel like Wilbur. It's middle of the day right now, and the kids had to go to town to get their haircuts, so we're out of commission for a little bit. Everybody kind of had the same experience this morning, though, it sounds like, which was not much action.
Not much gobbling once they hit the ground.
Very little on the limb, and even less when they were down.
Did they gobble on the ground for you guys?
Yeah, they gobbled for a while for us, but they didn't want to come in to where we were at. We had hens behind us, quite a few hens behind us, and the gobblers were out in front of us, so we thought we were in a good spot, but they didn't want to play, so we didn't even end up laying eyes on them this morning, and they went off the other way.
I was hoping I had high expectations for the morning, but ended up being humid and cloudy, and they just didn't gobble very well.
We both had one turkey that was maybe alone for a little bit that gobbled, but we didn't get to him quite quick enough, either of us. So
we had that one turkey that was alone. We didn't get no footage of him because I was filming Thrash with that little POV cam or whatever, and he was going across that bottom gobbling just every once in a while in half strut. I mean, I could see his white head down there as he was walking across it, but we set up and he answered Thrash one time, then never gobbled again. Just not doing it. So that's part of it, though. We're not going to show you guys all those hunts because pretty much the same exact thing happened for all the groups that are out there. But here midday, while we're just farting around here around the house, we're going to run through some live hen sounds on Greg's computer and try to see if we can sound like him. A little THP versus the turkey. This is Ted's idea. He's like, let's see how close we can mimic these real hens that Greg's got on his computer here.
Probably signing us up for some embarrassment, but we'll go with it anyway.
Yeah, and seriously though, this is a good time of year for a lot of people to practice. I mean, we're turkey hunting down here during the youth season, but it's really early for most of you that are watching. And you know, your turkey seasons are going to be coming in over the next month. Most folks are starting to dust their calls off right now, so this would be a good video to watch to listen to live hens and listen to how to do it, and listen to us for how not to do it. We're going to use a bunch of different calls. Nick's been cranking on that box over there the last little bit, and it sounds pretty good, so he'll have it. We'll all have a bunch of different mouth calls, a bunch of different cuts of mouth calls, and then some glass calls, friction calls. We'll just have all kinds. But when we get into the mouth calls, we'll kind of talk about, you know, how to blow your air over the different ones, like between the alpha and the echo and this jackhammer that I got down here. You know, you can make different tones with different air position and stuff, so yeah, I'll try that one. Miriam's hen.
you just sit down. I'm running this show.
Ooh.
Earthy. Rich.
Oh, there she is. She just popped up.
All right, get your calls in.
Hear how her notes are like dropping in, not every time. Like yelp, 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 like almost that half yelp, and that last yelp right in the middle of her yelp sheet. Yep, there are the last two notes were yelp, yelp.
All right, somebody let her rip here.
Is that fast enough?
Yeah, the cadence seemed right.
All right, I'll try.
I think she's faster. Yeah.
That one matched her pretty good.
Play again.
Like that. there.
Try the right side of the call. She's. See, I want to yelp out the middle of the call. But that's too deep for her. She's got like that. So if you yelp out the middle with the snake tongue,
Yeah.
that's why you get that deeper tone. But if you want to mimic that higher pitch yelp, you got to go out at the cut side. So like on the alpha, here, I'll just show y'all. The jackhammer here is like a hybrid batwing. That tongue in the middle, if you push your air down the middle of the call, it's going to be that lower pitch. If you push it off the right side, it matches that higher pitch, and it's the same thing with that alpha. If you push your air over the right side, over the cut side, you're going to get that higher end front note.
Using more of your lips to direct the air movement out the side?
Don't use any lips. It's all coming out of here. So the lips
How
never.
are you directing it is what I'm getting at.
Just move my tongue a little bit. Middle.
Looks like you shift your jaw too a little bit.
I might. You tell me. I can't.
That's what I have to do is move my jaw around.
Notice how short those yelps are. Like, that's why I'm always doing that. And as far as I can go.
Yeah.
That way. That's why those calls with those batwing type calls are real versatile. Because you can move the air
Yeah.
across and change the pitch.
Windy day.
She's blowing in.
Pause it. How many times did she just yelp right there?
Maybe 15 or so.
Oh, at least 15.
17.
Yeah.
You notice how like she started off with, you know, like you ever hear somebody call like that? That many yelps?
Not very often.
Sounded like she was sitting there. Can you see her? She turning her head all different directions.
Yeah, she's at like 5 yards between the hunter and the decoy. And
So she's
like
moving her a
around.
lot.
Yeah.
That's what the sound sounds like. That's interesting. Like as a hen is moving, you know, directing that sound in different places may make it more realistic. You keep playing it. So you can yelp that fast. Out of that alpha, that should. Yep.
How's that sound?
Pretty good.
Sounds fine. Sounds like you're yelping real
Sounds
fast.
kind of like honky. I don't know how you get that honky sound.
Yeah, honky. I guess that'd be a good word for it. The hen before too had that. Honky is the best kind of word I could think of for it. That particular sound seems it's a hard one to consistently do over and over and over.
Can't do it with that one. That's hard. That was getting a little more of that honky tone though. I just can't hold it through there like she can.
Yeah,
All right, how much?
Good job of doing that cluck that she's doing.
a real high pitch.
Yeah.
I think that call might try that again. Go start slow and then speed up that yelping. Speed it up. Quicker, shorter notes.
Yeah, that sounds good.
A different turkey
Real high
answered her.
pitch.
Like that happens to what her yelps just did happens to me on the crystal all the time. She's like inconsistent of getting that like breaking off.
You see how they're gobbling right back to her?
That's how I get so aggravated with that, but a live hen just did it perfect.
The main takeaway is the rhythm. Like
Yeah.
the cadence and the rhythm is the main thing. You can make all kind of mistakes and sound real. I mean, listen to her.
Being able to do like these light yelps like she's doing too, like this is early morning. This
She's just down off the
it
roost.
seems dark. It seems like it's
Still got a bug in her throat.
Yeah,
not
still
right
got a
there.
sleepy voice.
That's a different turkey yelping back at him. That's not the same one. That's actually a Jake in the tree next door, tree yelping. She yelps, then the gobblers answer her, and then that Jake answers the gobblers. Yep. See if you can make that high pitch. See how loud she was with that one?
Almost sounds like when your mouth call reed gets stuck
Yeah.
on your mouth call and you're like can't get it to break over
Yeah.
to the raspy.
Yeah.
Hard to get that
Yeah.
dual tone. You know, I like that echo better most of the time than that alpha, but that alpha that's the highest pitch I can get out of all those to match her in some of those Miriams. Keep your tongue all the way far right as you can go. Pinch it. Yep. Yeah, them first 3 or 4 notes there sounds just like her. And obviously, those birds will love it. So if you can sound like her in that instance, you're in good shape. This is the Illinois turkey. Is she walking, moving around?
Yeah, that's an important thing for when you're calling is just either moving the friction call around or just moving your head as you're cutting like that. It seems like they're always because they're always looking.
Mm-hmm.
It adds a lot of realism while you're moving the call around.
Like when that bird answers her in one spot, she stops and like turns her head sideways, kind of looks around and keeps cutting and keeps going.
That's like a honky yelp.
I feel like this is the scenario the picture we try to paint most times when we're trying to strike a turkey. Like a lot of times it'll be 2 of us calling back and forth, just doing a lot of cutting, yelping every once in a while, and you're listening, but then and just kind of building it up as you're going on. I feel like we strike more turkeys doing that than just about anything.
Yeah, moving around a little bit like she's moving
Yeah,
around.
like walking around and going over a ridge and just keep changing where that sound's coming from.
Yeah, and
that
just
adds a lot
popping.
of realism.
Instead of just doing like going straight into, like she's not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she does it at a certain point,
Right.
but it's like she works up to that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she's
She
just
does it
looking.
over 30, 40 seconds.
Yeah, popping on that box. Yep. 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 And as she gets more excited and get into more of that raspy cutting. Yeah.
And then she stops and waits and
Yep.
Because a lot of
Keeps
times
going.
early season like this, especially, it's like I just, even if you can't see the turkey, I almost picture them like they're just down there pecking around, but then all of a sudden they hear that and their head starts to change color and they might start to blow up a little bit, but they're not going to gobble right off the bat a lot of times unless they're already fired up. It takes a while to almost get them fired up enough where, sometimes we're calling for 10 minutes almost, it seems like.
Oh, yeah.
And then you finally pull a gobble out of a turkey that's been hearing you probably most of the time.
Think about how long that one turkey is yelping. Like people always talk about how not to call and don't do this, but listen to that live hen in there. Like she's yelping 20 notes, and that hen right there is literally cutting for 10 minutes straight. Like she's doing that non-stop almost. Hit that thing, grab a hold of that box and try this. Mike showed us a couple years ago. Like if you tap that lid right there and then you go up on this side of the lid, it'll change the pitch. So it'll do pop, 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 pop. Yep. So if you get to the point where you can alternate 1, then 2.
Yeah.
That's what he was doing a couple years ago. He would hit that lid on the high side and go pop, 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 pop. And you could really hear the difference in like as she's moving around, she's changing her pitch when you can hear her doing it a little bit from each note.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That
funny
thing
how
sounds
you
good.
want to be consistent. You want to be able to make consistent sound, but at the end of the day, turkeys a lot of times are very inconsistent with
All these that we
Yeah.
just listened to are super inconsistent. Like the cadence, the rhythm is the most important thing. That's probably enough of us jawing about these calls and whatnot. But hopefully that helps you all out. Lots of good hen audio in there to practice too. It's so much easier to practice when you're actually hearing them. Like I can hear us calling in the background to those hens, and we're sounding pretty close to the same rhythm because we've got that in our ear while we're calling.
Yeah, it's like, but at the same time, you start out calling and you realize that you're doing a little too slow where you can just kind of keep, and then we replay it back and you can kind of try to match, being able to match a real turkey sound where it's not just you're making up in your own mind.
Listen to the live turkeys and then call. That's a good way to get good at it, I think. All right, that's it, guys, for this video. Kids will be back here in a little bit after their haircuts. They're probably going to want to do some afternoon turkey hunting, so we might buzz out with them. Got to have decent weather in the morning, then storms moving through tomorrow, and opening day for everybody else is on Friday, and it looks wet. So hopefully we can get the kids one before opener.
Help, 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 help.